The Wrestling Revival podcast sends our prayers to Kansas City after the tragic events earlier today.
It looks like you lost another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yes, I know I caught it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Revival podcast. I am your humble host, Mr. Cyber Yeti, Mr. Here for the Petty, Mr. God, I cannot believe we just heard in spaces someone just go off on somebody about a chastity belt and didn't even fight back. I felt like Apollo Creed sit on the sideline being like, throw in the damn towel, throw the towel in.
That was just
You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him. Anyway,
the things you hear.
Anyway, over here to the other side of me, of course, you see Mr. DJ Notorious, hashtag Notorious approved. Hashtag, we need to come up with some new hashtags.
I got a lot, but we ain't gonna say them tonight.
Not tonight, not right now.
Not tonight. No.
All right. So really quick before we jump into this week's show, we just gotta pay a bill. It's just one for now. Just one
bill. Mm-hmm.
Big thank you to OT Subs for sponsoring us again for season 2 of the Wrestling Revival podcast. Use discount code Revival Army for 10% off your order. Get yourself a shaker, get yourself a flavor. I could tell you this, the flavors are actually really good. They don't leave you jittery. They don't leave you feeling like shit after taking it. And me, I'm very picky when it comes to that stuff. I'm not about the W or flubby or whatever the hell you want to call it. Whatever they call it in South Boston. I don't know what, but again, ultisubs.com. Use the discount code Revival Army for 10% off. Again, thank you, Ulti, for sticking around with us. We do appreciate it. Big things are coming.
You do go on there. Trust me, that blue raspberry, Notorious approved.
It hits. And the orange creamsicle. Orange creamsicle also hits too, man.
Notice how he put that up with the orange creamsicle scissors, though. See what he did there? I
see
what you did there.
You know what I'm doing. You know what's going on.
Yes,
see, I'm all about it, man.
Oh man!
All right.
I just want to tell y'all right now, this episode we're gonna be talking about a lot. A little bit later on, we're gonna be talking about somebody being the third wheel. We'll discuss that because that was hilarious. And then we're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite. And probably for the first time in a while, you might be surprised at the recap that you get. That's all coming up later on in the show. But remember, before we get started, we are on social media. So we are on IG, the Wrestling Revival Podcast, on X, that's what Elon's calling it tonight, TWRP_official. And for you TikTokers out there, we're on there as well. TWRP_official_. So whatever social media your girlfriend, the significant other, the side piece, whatever you choose, you can tell them to follow us on all social media platforms.
Whew. Man, do we have a lot to talk about. And it is going to be a little WWE heavy, as you saw from our thumbnail for tonight's episode. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's go ahead and talk about the first thing here. I'm sure, as most of you know, there was a big media press conference done by the WWE in New York. I was about to say New York. God damn it.
So we do a lot of things in New York, but just not that conference.
No, it was in actually Las Vegas. And I've got to tell you, man, I I'm low key excited about this WrestleMania this coming up year. We actually had we even had a couple of matches officially announced. Not all the cards filled yet, so there's still time for some people to get in, like what we're going to be talking about later about someone trying to find their way into WrestleMania for the first time. But let's go ahead and jump into this. And of course, I had to fix the official banner because Bailey was talking about how she wasn't on the kickoff stuff.
How do you forget about Bailey?
Okay, so first off, one of the first official matches was Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. Next one is obviously Bailey and Io Sky for the women's championship. That's going to be pretty good. And then we get into what stirred everything up. Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline. And of course, you could see they actually went into detail in regards to the Bloodline. You see people who aren't signed by WWE, people who are currently under contract, people who might pop up. And of course, obviously, it looks like The Rock and Roman Reigns are standing side by side to each other. They were throwing jabs at Cody Rhodes and his family. So Cody made his decision. He said, screw you, Rock. I am getting my match at WrestleMania. I am taking on Roman Reigns. And of course, this pissed The Rock off, on top of him having his family made fun of by Cody Rhodes, which led to a huge altercation and to the slap heard around the world. After the conference, they show video footage of the post conference interaction between Triple H and The Rock, saying he needs to fix this. But the one thing I love more than anything is the fact that Triple H went out on SmackDown and flat out told The Rock, in other words, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he actually did.
Oh, know your role, which I appreciate that. Know your role. The only person that's in charge here is me. So we obviously see that there's going to be a power struggle that's going to be put out on display between Triple H and The Rock. Multiple people on social media are trying to say that Triple H is going to come out of retirement to face The Rock and all this other stuff. People, he has a pacemaker in his chest.
He's not going anywhere.
Will never wrestle again. It doesn't matter how much money you put in front of him. It doesn't matter how much you beg and plead saying you want a match with The Rock and Triple H. It's not going to happen. Stephanie McMahon will literally tie his ass down.
If it's not even Stephanie, it would be the kids. Definitely. They don't want him in the ring. Pacemaker, as you said, it's not going to happen. But since we are talking about the kickoff show, some people, if you've been living under a rock for the last week, may not have seen what happened backstage after the conference was over. Here's a taste.
Have them talk shit about our family again, and that's what happens. It's not how much have them talk shit about it. If you don't fix it, we will. Have them talk shit about our family again. So it's fucking time.
All right, so before we push forward and actually talk about that little interaction here, let's go ahead and jump to the comments. We've got Peter here, always jumping in. We got some other guy here. We've got Bobby. What's up, man? How you doing? Double K, motherfucker. Double K, what's up, man?
Appreciate y'all all tuning into the show tonight, whether it be here on YouTube or on X. Greatly appreciate y'all.
Yep. And then Peter saying hi to everybody. Now, let's just get back into that interaction that happened in the back. First and foremost, let me just say this. Roman Reigns is taking the spot that Solo Sikoa had with him. He is officially taking a back seat to the person that he knows is the real head of the table. He is sitting back. And you know what's so funny is that it's going to come back to bite him in the ass later on. Now, to go along with that, I love the fact that Triple H is actually playing into it. They're actually legitimately trying to make this a storyline, and I love it because it's taking a different approach. I think what they're doing is they're preparing for their transition to Netflix. I think we are going to start seeing their content dancing with the line of TV 14, TVMA once they get to Netflix, because this is going to draw in ratings, and we are going to start seeing NXT and we're going to start seeing SmackDown starting to play around the TV 14 area, because it's going to tie in to what Raw's doing on Netflix. So that happening, I love it. I'm here for it. I'm ready to see them kind of get more mature in regards to their content, and I really look forward to seeing these superstars actually have an opportunity to express themselves without having to filter themselves.
No, I mean, that's something that I think everybody has wanted, whether you've been a fan of the Attitude Era, the ruthless aggression era, or even the TVPG. I think we all should know that the best WWE programming has been when they have gone a little edgy with certain storylines or segments on the show. So it will be refreshing come January 1st when they move over to Netflix for Monday Night Raw. And I think we're getting a taste of it just now. Like, if anybody knows the UFC and how Endeavor works, they go pushing the edge at these press conferences for UFC events. So literally what you saw was a copy and paste this past Thursday with the WrestleMania press conference. Now, things how it went, things are actually being a little bit different. It was supposed to be Rock and Roman, but I'm here to tell y'all the WWE actually paid attention. All those fans that were disliking the video of The Rock returning, y'all remember that on SmackDown a few weeks back, they paid attention. One thing about the WWE, they do not like bad publicity or any of their videos being disliked as much as that one was. They absolutely hate it. And hey, shout out to the fans, because I tell you guys this all the time. Social media, you do have a voice. And if people band together, you can make people change their mind. And that's exactly what happened with Roman and The Rock going at it at WrestleMania. That is not happening, y'all. You could forget it. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but for WrestleMania, that is not happening. But
Definitely not. Going back to the comments here, Bobby just talking with the chats, saying he's doing great. Peter, yes, like how I've been loving Dragunov's violent matches. Yes, and DJ, I actually kind of noticed this too as I've started watching more of his matches on NXT. It seems like he has bumped up the level of violence that he's been using. I mean, it even is giving me shades of like old Pete Dunne, like when he first won the UK title when NXT UK was still a thing. We're starting to see that old Dragunov from NXT UK, and we're starting to see more violence come out of him. And again, like I was saying a little while ago, this is starting to show the trend of transitioning more from the PG era into the TV 14 era of wrestling.
that's what makes it actually good. You can even notice it by the way certain things were said. We're going to start talking about the interaction between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley at the press conference, because certain line that was said is definitely not TV
That
PG at all. But speaking on the violence with Dragunov, which Peter did bring up, I'm noticing that in all facets of WWE, not just Raw, not just SmackDown, but also NXT as well. Because, you know, it's getting to a point right now where fans know what's going on. And if you want the cookie cutter stuff, there's segments for that. But the sheer violence of what this is, they have to get back to it. That's something that can sell and actually sell out a lot of product. Let's just be honest here. Rock and Drew McIntyre with his very suggestive new t-shirt is selling like hotcakes right now in the WWE shop. So this type of violence and content is actually selling, and they're taking it straight to the bank. So I cannot blame them at all for that. But continue with more people there in the chat. And yes, while we're talking here on the show, definitely let your comments be known. We'll post them up here on the show. Triple H is definitely helping on making this a story. Yes, he actually is. I mean, they do have quite a few more weeks, even before they get to down in Australia for the Elimination Chamber. 5 a.m. in the morning, New York time.
4 a.m. my time. Don't.
Jesus Christ. But he's definitely putting his mark on the story already. And shout outs to Aaron King. What's up?
What's up,
Aaron?
As
well. And then we got Bobby here again saying Oba Femi is a rising star on NXT. Yes, real quickly about that.
Yeah.
That guy right there. I still believe he is the North American champion.
Mm-hmm.
After taking out Dragon Lee again. I mean, we all saw that was going to happen. Y'all want to see a dead body? That's what that match was. He has superstar written all over him. The only thing I want the WWE to do is not rush it. Slow cook him. Make sure
they need to do what they did to Carmelo Hayes.
Exactly. Do for that, because if you rush it, he'll just crash and burn. We don't want another Omos, right?
I was about to say Omos 2.0 all day.
We don't need that. You got enough on the roster right now. Let him cook. Let him get a run with the NXT Championship, maybe even 2, and see what he does for the year. He could actually be one of the guys that carries NXT for the rest of the calendar year. So, yeah, shout outs to Femi. Definitely is a guy you should be watching for NXT-wise. But back to the WrestleMania kickoff press conference. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch.
Whew.
That was a lot. I mean, we knew this match was going to happen. Finally, it gets announced for us. We're going to get it. But I just got to ask you, Cyber, because we really didn't talk about this after the conference. Does Rhea actually walk out of Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Eagles, still champion?
To be honest, this is the first time that I'm not feeling like a legitimate winner, like knowing who is going to walk out as a champion. Rhea Ripley, you can never count her out because she is just that strong of a women's champion. But Becky Lynch has proven time and time again that she's not a person to doubt either. But the way that this storyline's going, the way that they're actually going at each other, and the way that WWE is starting to transition from PG to TV 14 and to TVMA once they get to Netflix, I'm having a hard time deciding how this match is going to fall. It's going to be a great match to watch regardless, because now she can actually have a new rivalry with another member of the Four Horsewomen.
Exactly.
Because she did it for 2 years with Charlotte Flair, the COVID year, and then the year after where she won the championship. And now she's doing it with her championship against Becky Lynch. So she's putting notches on her belt right now. So I honestly can't tell which way this is going to go. And I'm actually here for it because I love it when it gets to the point to where I can't legitimately pick who's going to win.
That's what's going to make it good, because these two women are going to go back and forth leading up to Elimination Chamber and leading up to WrestleMania. But for y'all wondering what line was said during that brief part of the press conference, here's what it was.
So mommy is going to learn what it's like to be a bottom.
If you don't know what that means, you might want to look it up in the Urban Dictionary.
Google it.
Yeah, because it definitely was something not for the kiddies to be hearing, or the 3,000 plus people that were in T-Mobile's arena to hear that during the show.
Rough.
It was a really good thing. I think I'm kind of like you with that when it comes to this matchup. it can go either way. I could see Rhea walking out with the belt. I could see Becky capturing the belt. But it's the story that's going to keep people going. I'm only worried that it's quite a bit before WrestleMania, so I'm hoping not some dud weeks in between, because that's the only thing that can make this go stale very quickly, in my eyes.
All I'm gonna say is this was my reaction after hearing her say that.
Not. You know, no. Run that back again. Did I see that right? Just to let y'all know, Knuckles, the new Sonic movie, will be out soon. Just letting y'all know that. But
Really quick, going to the comments here, I see that Bobby, I'm interested for this match between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. I am too. I'm actually excited about it. This is the first time in a long while that I don't have a good idea of who's possibly going to walk out as champion. But I mean, that's just only two. That's only literally two matches that have been announced that we've talked about so far. The Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and then the Becky Rhea Ripley, as Eric Carmen said. This match is going to be so tits. Well, since Peter likes to quote Eric Cartman, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's probably sitting on his couch right now, screaming to his mama, asking for the cheesy poofs. Mom, bring me some cheesy poofs.
I'm done. We're not gonna go there. I'm gonna leave
hey, at least he's not playing around with a chastity belt.
Oh my God, Jesus! All right, so yeah, another match that pretty much has been announced but wasn't announced during the WrestleMania conference was Bayley choosing Io Sky. Now, this one here, I don't know, and I want to ask you. We know this is their big WWE Women's Championship match. Does this main event night one, or does this start night one?
I honestly think that this could start night one, and I think Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley could end night one. And that's saying something huge for the women's division to have the first and last match of the night.
I mean, it's only right. I think because both of those matches need their time. Mm-hmm. So, and we know we always say here on this show, if you're not first, you better be last. You never want to be in between. And just seeing how the card can shape up, we're going to have a celebrity match of some sort. There's going to be some probably musical performances, maybe some longer entrances with some musical guests. You got to count all that into play. And you don't really want to have that in the beginning. Well, in the middle, you want to have that in the beginning or the end. So I think this actually starts night one.
You do?
I think it starts off night one, started off with a bang.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely think that. And I definitely think... Oh, no. Mr. Peter.
Oh, damn. Jesus.
Hey, Peter.
Shady Roll Khaled. I mean, that's
Peter.
a lot. That's
Peter.
3-1.
Hey, I'm just going to give you
credit.
I'm going to give you first, I'm going to give you credit for it. But second off, you better realize I come with a warning on me. If you come at me, you better not miss. Because if you miss, I'm gonna make sure you're hurting. Because I could tell you this much, Knuckles ain't got shit on me.
Shout out to Knuckles.
He's got a movie coming out soon. I'm low key excited for that one too.
No, that's going to be a good one. But gotta remember, guys, you can dish it, but you better make sure you can take it, because
exactly
we really give it back to you.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
And then I'm gonna have Peter over here. Let's see. Going back to the comments here. Aaron King, thanks to LA Knight, I could see Usher live for the first time.
And this is something I wanted to talk about because this news has actually been breaking as of today. As some of y'all may know, if you haven't been watching WrestleMania for as long as myself or Cyber, there's always some form of a musical guest on the broadcast of the Night of Nights, the granddaddy of them all, of course, that being WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Now, LA Knight, has put out there that he will like to have Usher Raymond IV perform as his entrance to WrestleMania. Now, we all can pretty much figure out that LA Knight will probably be taking on Logan Paul for that United States Championship at WrestleMania. So, do we think that we are going to get Usher at WrestleMania? How do you see that?
Okay, so if I can tell you this much, if LA Knight gets Usher to sing him into the ring in a match against Logan Paul for the U.S. title, Logan Paul's dropping the title. Hands down. Hands down, zero chance he is going to walk out of there with that championship. To be honest, I think it's time. Because look at what LA Knight's been involved in the past year and a half. He has gone from a nobody to a top tier person. And now he's kind of in that gray area between the upper, echelon of title contention and high mid card. So I think it is necessary for him to keep him relevant for him to get the U.S. title. Logan Paul, I think he's probably getting ready to kind of step back for a little while, which I don't blame him. He had that great match at Crown Jewel against Rey Mysterio and won the U.S. title.
Very good.
He has brought eyes to the U.S. title by being on his podcast, by flaunting it wherever he went, acting like he was going to pawn it or sell it, like a la freaking Ted DiBiase, so I mean, he's kind of put some eyes on it and people are paying attention to it again. So right now would be a good time to put it on LA Knight and see what he does with it.
It would be good. I think it's time for it to come back to main wrestler. Not to say Logan Paul is not, but just a main wrestler that you see every single week. LA Knight, I think, has paid his dues to actually hold on to a title like that. And I think that US title will get even bigger with him holding it.
Oh,
if you go to any show, LA Knight gets one of the biggest pops of the night, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown. So why the hell not give it to him? But if it is Usher, that would be big time news for him. But I do believe that won't be the only artist showing up at WrestleMania.
Of course not.
And if you guys can put two and two together, Lincoln Financial Field is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just Google Philadelphia artists. You'll figure out who I'm talking about. But this is a good question to put on social media. Who do you want to see as an artist performing or giving an entrance to your favorite wrestler at WrestleMania? Let us know on social media. Of course, the Wrestling Revival Podcast on IG, TWRP_official. That will be on X. And then for you TikTokers, of course, we didn't forget about you. TWRP_official_. You can hit us up and let us know which artist you would want to see. I mean, I got my personal favorite. I mean, I used to pray for times like this to rhyme like this. That's who I'm wanting to see out there and bring out a certain tribal chief. If you can figure it out, you know. See how I just lined that up in there?
Yes, I saw.
But I heard though, you want Doja Cat to come out there.
No.
You want Doja Cat?
No. Okay. Not just.
She's too much of a devil. But I heard she's a bad little bitch.
No. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
I swear DJ's going to have me doing this to him by the end of the night.
That's how you feel, sir? All right, cool. That's fine. But let's go to the comments here. And Aaron King definitely understood what I was talking about.
He understood the assignment.
It is Meek Mill and Wale. Of course, if you play, just think about it like here. You have Cody make his entrance. He does his, all that. That's fine. That's cute. But instead of hearing the tribal chief, you just see Meek Mill walk out and literally have the lights go all out. And he just says those famous words. I used to pray for times like this. Automatically, WrestleMania moment, hands down. Meek Mill, he would literally kill it. Peter says, give me Eminem. Sorry, we're not at Ford Field.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think it'll be cool for SZA to bring out EO. Give me the full. Give me the full. Give me the full. Okay. That would be nice, but if it's going to be anybody with SZA, it more than likely will be Bianca BelAir. If you know, you know. I don't see EO coming out with SZA. I just don't see it. It'll be too much of a snooze, pun intended. So I think it will probably be Bianca BelAir, just from the interest that she's done for the past couple of years. Having the all-girls group last year, which was very cute and a good moment for them. And then the marching band from the HBCU. I can't remember which one it was, but those are big moments. I don't see EO doing that with SZA, but good thing to throw out there.
Bobby just threw this out there too, talking about Poppy bringing out EO. She's already done that before. They've had, I think that was in her NXT time.
Could possibly be
that Poppy sang her out, and I think that was back when she had her old theme song. I think. No, wait. I think she's still using her theme song from NXT. So yeah, I think she's already done that for EO Sky already. Now, which, I mean, could it make a comeback? Yeah, it could, but highly unlikely because it's a pretty good chance she's going to lose the title to Bayley anyway.
Right. I think at the very least, she'll probably get an extravagant entrance since she is coming in as the champion. But as far as like a musical guest, I don't think so along those lines. I think the one that'll probably have the musical guest out of the women would probably be Bianca BelAir. However, she is used, and also Rhea Ripley with Paramore. So
yeah. Most definitely. Her whole name, Io Shirai, yeah.
Yes, Io Shirai. But I do see here, Peter's taking them shots at you, man. Cyber is trying to claw that cat up. You can see him blush. Wow. Talking about Doja Cat and everything. Damn.
I'm gonna have to say that is a big no, sir.
Damn.
Because if I was even remotely interested like that, I would have known who it was from the very beginning.
And he's not even being, playing around. He did not know who Doja Cat was.
My wife, who's an elementary school teacher, knew who Doja Cat was before I did. And I work with, and at my job, I work with teenagers. So
what the fuck?
I said what I said.
What the fuck?
The award-winning flopper can say that as many times as he wants. It's still not going to make him as good as MJ.
What's up?
Get your man.
All right.
Hey, I don't need nobody to come get me.
No,
if you know me, you know I've got legitimate hate for LeBron James.
That you do, sir. That you definitely do. So
yes.
But yeah, we'll definitely be talking more when it comes to the WWE because we'll be talking a little bit about a certain show that debuted last week. And does it have rave reviews from myself and Cyber? Check that out in just a little bit. But
just a little bit.
We talked about WWE, so it's only right that we start talking about AEW. And this is the time of the show where you get that AEW Dynamite recap. Of course, Dynamite just went off the air a little bit under an hour ago. And listen, here on the show, we keep it real with you. We have no things to it, but just like Cyber is doing over there, it literally was SZA's song. It was a snooze. It was probably one of
It
the
was
worst Dynamites in a while.
It was about as bad as Raw was this past Monday, where I literally fell asleep 15 minutes in watching the 6-man tag.
You know what? And it's a theme because Raw was really, really bad, a real snooze fest. But Dynamite tonight had a moment, maybe two, but definitely was not a good 2 hours for Dynamite. Now, of course, they are still a couple of weeks away from their first pay-per-view of the year, which is Revolution. Some more matches were added, but it really was a snooze fest. It did get started with John Moxley taking on Dax Harwood, and a good wrestling match. But once again, I think this is the second or third week in a row, Moxley is opening up Dynamite. We've seen it before. We know how it is. Automatically put it kind of on the snooze. But in the end, Moxley did get the victory by choking out Dax. Now, what happened afterwards was a big scuffle between the Blackpool Combat Club and, of course, the tag team partner for FTR. Are we looking at a tag team match at Revolution here? Because I thought with somebody getting indicted on a certain charge, we wouldn't be seeing him on TV. But that's just me. Now, it did continue on with actual segment dealing with the triple threat for the AEW Championship that will be going down at Revolution. Of course, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page. Gotta do something with that mustache, by the way, because that mustache is giving me scared. It's just scared straight. And then, of course, Mr. Samoa Joe. Now, basically, Samoa Joe let it be known that Hangman is not going to pin Swerve to take his title, and Swerve is not going to pin Hangman to take his title because he's going to beat both of them bitches up. Simple as that. So anybody worried about this match, just no, don't worry about it at all. It's going to be definitely a lot of violence. I can see a couple of tables being broken, maybe some barbed wire coming out, but it should be one of the better matches of the night. Now, we did get our favorite part of Dynamite, Cyber. It's always our favorite. It's loved by both of us here. That's why I'm wearing the rose, not only for Valentine's Day, but just because it was timeless. I see what you did. I see we think alike there. Timeless Toni Storm giving her new featured film, Wet Ink. I was kind of worried when I heard about the title.
Yeah, the name made me nervous.
But it was what I thought it would be. So I was like, okay, this is good. I really like the story they're playing out with Deanna. They will actually show some old photos of Toni in WWE. Did anybody catch that? I noticed that it couldn't blur that W out that well, but did notice that Deanna and them back in New Japan. So it's telling the story going into it, so you pay more attention to this championship match.
Love it.
Loved every minute of it. And Deanna was just like, I'm going to break your arm, bitch. Kept it moving. So you got the violence from Deanna. Toni's playing up her role perfectly. That is honestly, I'm going to bow on a limb here. I know the AEW World Title match is going to be what it is, but I'm looking forward to that match right there. Toni Storm and Deanna Purrazzo for the AEW Women's Championship. That is going to be something to be seen. But I got this funny feeling, Cyber, and tell me if you're thinking along the same lines and everybody else watching the show. I have a feeling a certain wrestler is going to return during that match.
You're thinking Jamie Hayter.
No, not even Jamie Hayter. I think
or
it's
Britt.
Yes.
You really think Britt Baker's going to make her debut back during that match?
I think she's going to make her debut back there to put herself automatically right back into the AEW World Title hunt.
Okay, so if she does do that, this is what I think is going to happen. It's going to happen after the match is over.
Yes.
It's going to literally be the match ends. I hate to say this, but it's probably going to be Toni Storm that's going to walk out with the title. Because I could see this Diana Purrazzo match turning into a trilogy with them, especially depending on how good it is the first time around.
Yes.
So Toni Storm wins. She's standing up. She's doing her typical celebration that she does. She has her valet picking her up on his shoulders and walking around the ring. But then all of a sudden you hear Britt Baker's music hit at the end. And then you literally see the color just completely leave her face as Britt Baker comes back. But that also gives you the idea, if Britt Baker's coming back, she's been by Adam Cole's side the entire time he's been injured.
Yes.
So I honestly think if she comes back, Adam Cole's not going to be too far behind.
No, he's not. And actually, Adam Cole was there at Dynamite tonight.
Mhm.
Of course, he's not wrestling yet because he's still not fully recovered. But that would make me think if he can actually travel and be there in some capacity, Britt is not too far off yet. She's been doing her whole media run at the Super Bowl with some WWE friends. Yes, we saw the pictures, y'all. And I think it's time for her to come back. I think it's now time. The women's division is definitely shaping up to be very heavy. So why not bring back one of the big founders of that division for maybe some boss time come March? You know, I think we all know what happens on March 13th. So that would be good. Other matches that did happen on Dynamite, you had Adam Copeland going up against Daniel Garcia. And of course, as somebody probably figured, the patriarch of the family, Christian Cage, made his way with the rest of the fam to interrupt during that match. And of course, Mr. Copeland caught that concerto once again. So is it safe to assume...
How's everybody's father feeling today?
How is everybody's Apple Podcast doing? Or...
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
But yeah, Adam Copeland, Christian Cage going at it again somewhere during this, and maybe even a triple threat with Daniel Garcia in it come Revolution. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Seems like Daniel Garcia is getting that rub. Pause. But we'll like to see what happens there. Definitely a pause. But
yeah.
I think it'll have to be some form of a specialty match there. Maybe tables, ladders, and chairs.
I could see that. That would be appropriate.
That definitely would be appropriate for that as well. And then also you did have Top Flight going up against the EVPs, you know, Mark and Nicholas Jackson, otherwise known as the Young Bucks. Of course, they got the victory, which sets up the official of them taking on Sting and Darby Allin come Revolution for those AEW tag titles.
I have been done with the Young Bucks for about a year, almost 2 years. I am really done with them. Their gimmick is bullshit.
Damn.
I don't care if they're trying to be heel or not. That is the wrong way. That is just wanting to be a douchebag. They literally have douchebag written across their foreheads, and it looks like they're running wild in the back and doing pretty much whatever they want. Bryan Danielson needs to get on their ass and start finding them or something so they quit with this bullshit.
And I've been waiting.
I'm so sick of these people. You know, oh!
I didn't know Cyber turned into Stephen A. Smith there, but
I did.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain because there's a lot of people that feel the same way about these EVPs, but it was one of those things where, hey, they were talked about so badly about being EVPs by you know who, so they just embracing the hate. But maybe they need to embrace going to a dry cleaners because that blood looked very bad on their white still. So,
all right. So going back here to the chat real quick, we got Aaron. I feel the reason that Undisputed Kingdom is stagnant is because Cole and MJF are both hurt. Yes, I agree with that. When they're both healthy, you're looking at a number one feud in AEW.
Number one feud, probably not. I do agree though that one has gone to like a stalemate in neutral for you car lovers out there with Cole and MJF hurt. Now Cole is still being seen on TV, which is a good thing, but we all know MJF is definitely out for a while.
MJF is flat out MIA right now. He has not said anything. Going to the next comment here, Bobby. I like Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. Yeah, it's entertaining. It's very entertaining, especially when Prince Nana starts doing his dumb shit. You know, it's kind of entertaining. It
is very entertaining.
What if Britt Baker shows up at AEW Dynamite Big Business to confront Mercedes Moné?
Somebody is probably going to say something, maybe confront, But I think what they're doing is they're just going to roll out the red carpet for Monet, give her the night, her moment, and then maybe afterwards, maybe the next week or a collision of some sort, then you might see a confrontation of sorts.
That's what I was going to say, because they are not going to step on her debut, and Britt Baker doing that might automatically flip her to be a heel in like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
I don't
I
think
like
they
Britt.
want to do that right
I
now.
like Britt as a heel, though. I love her as a heel. Now, some of y'all may not know, I did have the luxury back in October of seeing Miss Britt Baker, at New York City Comic Con. And I don't know, it's just like seeing her there. She was very nice to everybody. She was not a jerk in any sense of the word. Very nice to everyone. But she just works better as a heel. She does. She just has that attitude with her, and it just works. So, and she is one of the better workers in that division. So I could see that maybe first feud with Mercedes being Britt wouldn't be bad, because they both do work well in the ring. And if that's a new signing that you have, you want her with one of your best workers in the division. So
Yeah, most definitely. Another comment here from Aaron King. Do you think TK goes for a Boston 1-2 combo with Mercedes and Okada? Now,
absolutely not.
exactly. I 100% agree with
Absolutely
that.
not.
Now,
This is Mercedes' moment. Let her have her moment. Now, however, before Big Business, there is something called Revolution. And if you guys remember, Revolution is always some form of a signing told during the show. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear the Rainmaker come over our TV screens and speakers. And it's actually Okada officially becoming All Elite during that night. Still giving Mercedes that moment in her hometown of Boston. So I think they both will, get the official All Elite, but Mercedes would be on that night only.
yes, most definitely. Peter being Peter here. I wish Britt were my dentist, with all due respect.
I give him at least a 7, because he did say with all due respect. But I'm sorry, I'm not messing with anybody that's gonna go in my mouth. Pause. Just saying. Just saying. You heard what I said. So that was Dynamite for you here. Just to let y'all know, if you are a fan of Rampage, which everybody should be, it is at a different time this week due to the NBA All-Star Weekend. That always happens the week after the Super Bowl. So not Dynamite, but Rampage will be 7 p.m. Eastern this Friday.
6 p.m. Central if you're in the state of Texas around H-Town.
Yes, and then 4 p.m. out there in California. So
I'm sorry, who?
California.
Where?
Cali. Here we go. Just something against Cali, I guess. But yes, you can definitely check that out.
We ain't going back to Cali. There's no way.
Okay. Real quickly, if you could tell me who song that is, I'm telling you right now, I'll be so impressed. Who sings that song, sir? Who is it? Come on, you got 5 seconds.
You know exactly who sings that song.
Then tell me. 3, 2.
Tell me.
1. Yes, tell me who it is. Come on.
Okay, Peter over here just acting a fool.
No, who's the artist? Come on, you said it. So who is it? Come on. Who is it?
It's an East Coast rapper.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
No,
So
it is. No, it is.
So who is it? Quit stalling.
Come on, Notorious.
Quit stalling. I want to hear it.
Come on, man. It's Biggie, dude.
Okay. Whew, thank you. All right.
Dude, I was about to say, how many more hints do I have to drop?
I got to worry about you sometimes. The whole.
Okay. When it comes to the new stuff, I have no earthly idea. But when it comes to the 90s, early 2000s, I can get that shit all day.
Okay. All right.
So like Tupac, Biggie Smalls, all that stuff, I still listen to it.
Okay. Whew.
Don't insult my intelligence, sir. Don't insult my intelligence.
I'm not, sir, but it was just there. So now that we talked a little bit of AEW, let's talk about the new things going on with WWE and Hulu. Yeah, actually Hulu, because just seems like over a week ago we had the premiere of Love and WWE that is starring, of course, Bianca Belair and her husband Montez Ford, one half of the Street Profits. Now, myself, DJ Notorious, and Cyber Yeti, we have watched the first 5 episodes of the first season. You can watch this all right now and binge watch straight on Hulu. But we're going to give you our review of the first 5 episodes. Now, I'll just say this first, and I think Cyber will agree with me. They are very, very funny. Of course, being Bianca and Montez. Very, very funny. It shows completely on screen. Definitely not forced. But there's one thing me and Cyber will agree. They already have a child. And that child is Angel Dawkins. It's Dawkins. Because if there was ever a third wheel,
like this is the third wheel of all third wheels.
It is clearly him. They cannot get time to themselves to save their life. As y'all some know, like most of these wrestlers, they do ride share together, driving to the next city after a house show, a Raw, a SmackDown, or even a pay-per-view. But Bianca and Montez, they was just looking for some quality time, and here comes Angelo saying I call shotgun. But
talking about, man, all the rental cars are gone. And then, of course, Montez Ford had to open his damn mouth and say, oh, well, I got the last one.
No, it definitely was hilarious watching these two go at it. Now, it did show the dynamic of how Bianca, for the past, seems like 3 WrestleManias, she's been headlined, had a match, does her thing, where Montez is still trying to get his WrestleMania moment. Now, you watch the 5 episodes like I did. Do you think this year, 2024, is the year Montez gets on the WrestleMania card?
I can tell you this. The WWE does have their eyes glued onto Montez Ford right now. Because if they didn't, this show with Hulu would not have happened. Because some way, shape, or form, they are interested in him. Because if you look back on when Miss and Mrs. was on for the Miz and Maurice, what happened with him? Like a little after that, he actually got another WWE championship run because he had already been pretty much a gatekeeper, but also that emergency champion they might have needed if something was going on.
Yes.
I mean, so he got a push when that show came out, and it was fairly successful. So this show's a hit. I can tell you that right now. The chemistry that they both have, it's real, it's organic. They legitimately love each other. They've actually fell in love with each other ever since they started in NXT.
Yes.
And it just grew from there. Then of course, it started following them from the start of WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania at the Royal Rumble when it was in San Antonio.
Yes.
It started there. And in the first 5 episodes, you slowly start seeing where the Street Profits and Bianca Belair were traveling together. But then we saw Montez Ford starting to pick up on being an independent and more of an independent singles competitor. And I remember actually seeing that in the product around that time too, where he was starting to get in on matches on his own on Raw, and then he got moved up to actually having an opportunity at the Royal Rumble, and then he had an opportunity to qualify for Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
He was looking for any way to try to get into Mania for that it was 39.
Yeah, it was 39.
Yeah, so he was looking for every way possible, and it got to the point to where he was even traveling on his own because he had to go to SmackDown for a tag match, which ultimately got nixed because they went over time. So, I mean, we saw the excitement of Montez getting that push on his own,
Mhm.
which is something he has been fighting for since he joined the WWE. He loves and appreciates what he has done with Angelo Dawkins, but he is ready to go on his own.
Yes,
And we see this, and we even see them decide that they don't even want to do a bodybuilding competition that they threw in the middle of preparation for WrestleMania, which I thought was stupid when I heard the announcement on the show. I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, WrestleMania is one of those things you got to prepare for
Mm-mm.
with nothing else on your card. I mean, we've all been saying it. We've said it here on the show countless times in our just about 2 seasons in. Montez Ford has HBK written all over him, and Dawkins has
Mhm.
Marty Jannetty. All we're missing is Dawkins going through the window. That's it.
And it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and especially with the success of this show, they're going to strap a rocket to Montez Ford's back, and he is going to get completely repackaged, and he's going to become that single competitor that he needs to be to get himself pushed up.
Yes, and one thing, if you guys are going to watch it, we definitely suggested 2 thumbs up from both myself and Cyber.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember this, guys. These wrestlers go through a crazy schedule. And one of my funniest parts of the first 5 episodes was Montez going in disguise to pick up.
Yeah, it's a sewing machine.
Yes, to pick up a sewing machine so Bianca could finish his outfit that he wore at the Elimination Chamber. So yes, when Montez jumped off the top of the Elimination Chamber, yes, that whole outfit was made by his wife, Bianca. So give them time. You know, they work a crazy schedule. Sometimes they may not be in the best of moods. Or if you see Bianca at 4:30 in the morning, they may not be her real hair. Just to let you know.
Don't pull on it.
Don't
Don't
pull
pull
on
on it. You might pull that hat off.
Yeah, so definitely, guys, watch it. I suggest even watch it with significant other, your kids. You'll definitely get more of an understanding of what life is like for not only 2 good wrestlers in WWE, but also a real life couple in Bianca and Montez Ford. So, love in WWE. Get it on Hulu right now. If you don't have Hulu, I hear there is a bundle that you can get Hulu with Paramount Plus and Showtime for the first 3 months for $5.99.
Man.
You cannot beat that. You could binge watch and still have Paramount and Showtime for $5.99 for those first.
Oh,
90
yeah.
days. So definitely check it out. Now, just here in the comment section, Bobby says Bianca Belair and Montez Ford are great together. Yes, they actually are. They are literally a yin and yang. I know people say that a lot, but they definitely fit each other up.
And the other thing that I noticed in the show too is that Bianca actually showed vulnerability in the show. She didn't try to keep up a persona. She didn't try to do anything. She legitimately showed vulnerability. For example, talking about her anxiety, talking about how she was nervous to be by herself or not be with Montez when he was having these big moments of potentially being able to become a single star and become, a potential main event star. She hated that. And on top of that, the stress of trying to prepare for that bodybuilding contest during Mania,
Yeah.
during the Mania road, on the road to WrestleMania, where she started talking about her eating disorder that she had before she joined the WWE, talking about how she was starting to feel those insecurities come back, and how she was nervous about telling Montez that she didn't want to do the bodybuilding contest. And instead of being like, no, you need to follow through, you need to see this through, he said he was proud of her for turning around and noticing the problems and wanting to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
And of course, in Montez, with his typical comical self, he was like, man, that means I get to eat what I want. And then they have a massive ass barbecue, literally 30 minutes later.
Literally. I do like it also too how both of their parents are actually involved with them as well.
Mhm.
Definitely visiting. Montez's mother actually came to the Elimination Chamber, which I remember was in Montreal, Canada. Surprised Montez by being there. So good family dynamic by both, and
Yeah.
just it's a lot to see. You guys definitely need to watch it. We will, in the next couple of weeks, let you know how the rest of the season goes, but
Yep.
definitely pay attention and watch at least the first 5 episodes of Love and WWE.
Yep.
Now, Bobby does say here, in the future, I'd like to see Montez Ford win the WWE United States Championship. If there's ever a comment that I will agree with 100% here on this show, it would be that right there.
Yes. Exactly. Like I think we will see here in the near future, we might see Gunther winding up dropping the title to Jey Uso, which it's not going to happen on Raw next week because we saw that was a match announced. I think this is going to turn into a build. They're going to build off this first match. It's either going to happen at Elimination Chamber or it's going to happen at Mania. I think it would be more appropriate for it to happen at Mania, given the first match slot in night 2.
That does make actual sense. I could see that happening. So, yeah, I would love to see him with any type of belt. Doesn't have to be the world title to start off, but definitely a secondary title like the US or the IC title. That would be great. And hey, who knows? If Gunther does wind up getting extra gold, maybe we turn into an intercontinental title tournament where we see somebody else come up and get the belt. So,
yeah, most definitely. All right, so that looks like that is the episode for the week. Guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. Also, thank you so much to our sponsors, Ulti, for sponsoring us again for another season. And of course, if you're not doing so already, make sure you hit us up on social media. Guys, we drop news there all the time, so make sure you're watching on Instagram at the Wrestling Revival Podcast, on X, I guess that's what Elon Musk is calling it right now, at TWRP_official. And for those people who like TikTok, make sure you're watching out there at TWRP_official_. Make sure you're following us, guys. We are going to keep you updated. We're even going to start posting clips, some highlights from some of the previous season, and maybe even some stuff from our current season as well. You never know. You better keep an eye out. And you never know what you might see. We do have one last comment here. Good point on the IC title, Cyber. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty strong possibility to happen because they need to do something with Jey Uso. And right now they're kind of just having him tag along with the main eventers. He needs to have something to focus on as well. Once the main eventers are kind of doing their own thing, he needs to have his own thing to do too. And I think having the Intercontinental title is going to give him that task because Gunther has quickly turn the Intercontinental title back into a true workhorse title. And I know some people might say it's the Miz. Yes, he did a good job with it, but just in one reign, Gunther has done more with it than the Miz.
Literally. And guys, we've told you guys for a while that we'll be starting having special guests here on the show. And there's a reason why we waited so long, because come WrestleMania week here on the show, we're going to have a very special guest. And I'm telling you, you guys, you're not going to expect it at all. So definitely pay attention to the socials. We might drop a hint or two, or maybe 3, of who this person or persons may be.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
it's big.
It's gonna be really nice. It's almost
Don't do it.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
I know the word you was about to say.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna ruin it. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. Yes, Bobby, it is a wrestler.
Yes, we will say this. It is a wrestler. We will say that. But who or whom those people may be, you just have to follow the socials and maybe catch a hint.
Exactly. But thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you as always. Make sure you follow the socials and make sure you hit subscribe here on the Premium Live event channel. on YouTube and also on Elon Musk X. Make sure you hit that follow button. We'd appreciate it as always. Thank you so much. Take it easy. You have yourselves a good night, and we will see you next week.
Yankees rule.
Oh, this motherfucker.